guys, have you ever wondered why all of the losers, all of the bums, all of the deadbeats, all of the bad guys get an abundance of women, and the good guys, the good quality men, women run away from like the plague? Well, in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly why that is. Make sure you watch this video all the way to the end because I got a ton of gold nuggets. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you like the video, hit the like button. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Have you guys ever sat down and really thought to yourself, you know, why do girls always sleep with the bums, the losers, the bad boys? And why do they always avoid the good men like the plague? Why do they always avoid the good, solid, legit men like the plague? But they always hooking up with the bad boys, the losers, the guys that can't get their stuff together. Why are they always hooking up with these guys, but the good guys can never get no play? Now, me personally, I can actually speak from experience in this situation, right? Because I remember, because you got to understand, I was raised right. I was raised in a two-parent household. My mom never really sat down and talked to me about real, like, relationships, how they work. We never talked about sex, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was learning as I went. But I remember when I was a genuinely good kid, like a good boy, like a, you know, put the woman first, you know, try to do everything right, you know, listen to what they got to say, try to be the best version of the best guy that I can be for the woman. And what I noticed is I never got the women that I wanted. But no, I'm not gonna lie. No, I did get the women I wanted. I did date the hottest chick in high school. I did get the women that I wanted, but I never really had the woman. Like, I would have her in a relationship just because I was persistent and I really wanted the chick, but I never really had her. I thought she was my girlfriend. I thought that she was my girlfriend. I thought that she was somebody that was rocking with me. Even though I wasn't sleeping with her, I thought that it was me and her against the world. And this would always happen with me. I would always get in a relationship with a girl that I adored, never get any play from the chick. We just holding hands and kissing from time to time. You know what I mean? The one early on, the first one, we hooked up one time, and I was in a relationship with her for probably a whole semester, I believe. So you gotta understand that when you really sit down and you really think, because you gotta understand, I was the good boy, I was the good quality man. Back then, I never even thought of cheating. I never thought of none of that shit. I never thought of having a rotation. I always thought, back in those days, I always thought, one girl, get married. Because I see my parents, you feel me? I see my stepfather and my mom, they was together my whole life. So that's all I thought. I thought, you know, find a girl you want, settle down, get married. It didn't even cross my mind to have other women, to have a bunch of sexual encounters. None of that shit crossed my mind. But what I noticed when I was growing up, there was a lot of kids that was having sexual access to women, more so than me, more so than the kids that I grew up around. Well, we all grew up together, but more so than the kids that was solid kids. You know what I mean? The kids that was like good boys who thought like me. Because I had the kids from the hood who was out here running and gunning, right? They was out here hooking up with all the chicks. They was out here doing all that stuff. Then I had other friends, you know what I mean, from different walks of life that was good, solid people, and we all had the same problem. We was getting no pussy. Zero. Even some of us had girlfriends. And we'll talk to each other and we'll just be like, damn, man, you got a girl? Yeah, man, how is it? He's like, oh, we kissed from there to there. Did you fuck her yet? Nah, I ain't fuck her yet. Did you fuck yours? Nah, she won't let me. But we kiss and shit. So we in full-blown relationships with these chicks, not even getting nothing from them. While the kids from the hood, the bad kids, the bums, the losers, the ones that was getting kicked out of school, the drug dealers, the ones that was in and out of juvie, the ones that was sent off to the alternative high schools because they was too bad to stay in a good high school, the ones that was doing all this shit, those the ones that had an abundance of pussy. They used to get so much pussy, I didn't believe it until you start hearing from the girls. You know, the niggas come in the hood and they start talking to you, they start telling you how much pussy they get. You be like, man, you ain't, because you ain't getting none. So when you ain't getting no pussy, you think nobody getting pussy. That's just how the world works. Like, when you ain't got shit, you think nobody got shit. Like, when you ain't got no money, you think nobody got money. When you ain't get no pussy, you think nobody got pussy. You get what I'm trying to say? That's just how the world works. So basically, you looking at these niggas, you like, man, these niggas lying. Then you start talking to girls. Then you got girls crying about certain guys. I'm not gonna say these guys' name. I grew up with these guys, but the niggas that I know, we know who these niggas was. They start saying these guys' name. Then you hear 3, 4, 5 of the hottest chicks that's at your school crying about the same nigga. Crying about the same nigga. Oh, he did me like this. Oh, he was talking to another girl. Be like, oh, this nigga wasn't lying. This nigga really out here slinging dick. Meanwhile, this nigga in and out of jail. Meanwhile, this motherfucker can't even stay in the school, always getting suspended. Meanwhile, this motherfucker low-key sell drugs on the side. Motherfucker did have his own car, though. I'm talking about middle school, high school. Motherfucker had jewelry, own car, all kinds of shit. You feel me? I can go a little bit deeper into that. You feel me? His one of the guys I'm talking about, he was a real nigga, but he was like in the special classes, but he would never tell us that. My mom would tell me. My mom knew all the gossip on the streets and shit. My mom say, oh, he get an $800 a month check. His mom give it to him because they made him seem like he was special ed. That's one of the reasons I never seen that nigga in none of my classes. But he wasn't a special ed nigga. The nigga was raw as fucking football. Nigga was a thug nigga. Nigga sold drugs, had his own car, had everything. But I guess his little startup money was $800 a month he was getting because his mom was claiming that he was a special ed or whatever. You know what I mean? I guess his test scores was low or some shit. I don't fucking know. But that's how he was getting his money. But I ain't find that shit out until I was older. But back in the day, motherfucker was having it. It was so bad to the point I met this chick, little light-skinned chick. I thought this girl was the love of my life. I met her in track. That's back when I was running track. And I met her in track and she went to another school, right? She went to Winter Springs. I was at I forgot what school I was at the time, but I met her at a track meet. And we'll sit there and talk. And this is back when I was still lover boy, still young, you feel me? We'll sit there and talk. And I swear to God, every time I talk to this chick, I swear to God I was in love with this girl. I was like, man, this the girl I'm gonna marry. This the girl I'm gonna marry. You know what I mean? Like I just was always in the back of my mind like, damn, me and this girl clicked so motherfucking well. Come to find out, I forgot what year I was. Come to find out, the bad boy, the nigga in and out of jail, the nigga that's in the special ed class, the nigga that's doing all this raw as fucking football now. You feel me? 6'2", not a good looking guy either. He wasn't so when we talk about facial looks, he was not a good looking guy. My mom would always clown on him and say, he ugly as hell. What are those girls seeing him? You feel me? So don't be sitting around. He was tall. He was 6'2", but he was not a good looking guy. He was an ugly ass nigga, for real. You feel me? Hood, ugly ass nigga. Right now, he's still in and out of jail. Got the big wicks. You know, the dreads that be big as fuck and shit. So I'm letting you know, this motherfucker wasn't no goddamn Trey Songz looking ass nigga or nothing like that. So don't be sitting around here thinking that all the pretty boys and motherfuckers gotta be attractive to get pussy. That's not the case. So I remember just always like falling for this chick, but I never had her contact information, and we didn't always run track against their school. So me and her, it just died. Like we just never seen each other enough. You know what I mean? I never got her number or nothing. So it just died out. Tell me how this nigga come to our hood. I'm outside. That's back when I smoked weed and shit. I'm outside smoking with my cousin. He pull up. He drive up to my cousin's house, which is right next door to my house in the hood. He chilling with us. He smoking and shit. And he say, damn, cuz. He say, damn, man, I think I got me one. And me and him, cause he always had all the hoes. So me and my cousin like, what you mean? What you mean? He say, this the first girl, cuz she got me weak and shit. He said, I even bit her. And we over here talking about something. What you mean you bit her, nigga? Like basically he's saying that this the first girl he ever ate out. Like he's like, man, what you mean you don't know bit, man? I bit the bitch. Like I ate the bitch out. I don't never eat bitches out. I was like, damn. And I was like, shit, do we know her? He looked at me. My cousin was like, damn, nigga, who she is? The nigga looked dead at me. And he said, nigga, you know her. He looked me dead in my eye. And I'm like, nigga, how the fuck I know her? Like, what you mean? He said, bruh. And he started explaining her. He said, bruh, she light skinned. She told me about you. And I'm like, who the fuck is you talking about? And he said, y'all met at a track meet. She from Winter Springs. And I said her name. And he was like, yep, that's her. So I'm like, nigga, what? You in a relationship? He said, yeah, bruh. He said, that's the main, bruh. He say, bruh. He say everything perfect. You feel me? He said she flawless, and she was flawless. I'm talking about like fit, big fat ass, skinny, petite, light skin, smell good, everything. You feel me? And that's when my motherfucking heart dropped. I say, damn, this nigga fucking her? This badass, cute, and she was raised right. She was all that shit. Now, at the end of the day, I don't know why the fuck she brought up my name. I never asked the nigga, like, how she knew me and why a conversation would go down where my name is being brought up in that conversation, whatever the case is. But he had to let it be known, like, yeah, I'm rocking with her. Like, she brought you up, but that's my main, bro. He said that's the, out of all the chicks I done hooked up with, she the most flawless in every category. You feel me? And I sat back, man. I remember I was high too. I was high as fuck, nigga. I went back to my house and I was just tripping for a little bit. I'm like, damn, nigga. I thought I really was feeling that chick. Bad as fuck. You feel me? And I usually don't even, like, now I don't even fucking really date black girls like this. This girl was fucking flawless. You hear me? So then I sit back and think. And at that time, I met her when I was not that guy. Like, you feel me? I met her when I was still lover boy. But by the time he was telling me about the story, I was already full-blown cold-hearted savage. Like, you feel me? But I never ran into her again. But she must have remembered something about me with those conversations in the track field or whatever the case is, where she brought me up or whatever the case is. But that's besides the point. But I'm saying that to say this. Sometimes you think a guy is a loser, a drug dealer in and out of jail, and blah blah blah, and you know, all this stuff like that, and that might be the case. But the reason why girls continue to hook up with these guys, no matter if they solid girls, no matter if they raised right, no matter if they good girls, no matter if they whatever the case is, the reason that they hook up, they date these guys, they obsess over these guys, is because there is one thing that these guys care more about than the chick. There is one person that these guys care more about than the girl herself. And the one person that they care more about than the girl themselves is themselves. That's what happened with me when I started getting cold-hearted and all that shit like that. Girls are infatuated with men who are selfish. Why do you think all these girls get on the goddamn internet crying, talking about he was a narcissist, he was this, he was this, he was this? Girls love men who are fucking selfish. They love men who put themselves first. They could never say it because they got to be politically correct. But girls love men that put themselves first. When I was the lover boy, I was always putting the woman first. I was always caring about her needs. I was always worried about what she wanted. I was always worried about what she liked. When I became savage demon mode, I cared about what I like. I cared about, do you suck my dick the way I want it to be sucked? Is the pussy good to my standards? Do your pussy smell good? Because I like pussies that smell good. Like, I was worried about me. So contrary to what everybody tell you on the internet, whatever the world, whatever the case is, girls obsess over selfish men. Those bums, those losers, those deadbeats, one thing that they love more than a bitch, or they care more about than a bitch, is themselves. Women can't get enough of guys that are selfish, because the guy can't care about her more because he cares about himself too much. He'll never put himself in a compromising position with a bitch because he cares too much about himself. You get what I'm trying to say? Women are obsessed with selfish men. I got story on top of story on top of story. I got another homeboy, and none of these guys, like, these guys that I'm talking about, you feel me, they still in and out of jail to this day. Like, if I still look back on their life, they still in the same shit. I still got a deadbeat homeboy, another homeboy, and he was more, so I told you the hood nigga story, right? Because you gotta understand, I was cool with both sides, right? I used to live in the hood, I used to live in a gated community, I went back to the hood. I'm cool with both sides. So I had a homeboy who was a black dude, but he was white, he was proper. His parents was like heart surgeons and shit, but his mom left his dad, so he was raised in a single family, and his mom couldn't handle it, and she would always leave the house. So he used to basically raise himself. So we used to always go to his house for parties and shit. So he was like, nice neighborhood, mama got money, but She can't handle all the shit she go through. So she always traveling and shit. So she always leaving us to the house ourselves. This kid, the white boy, black, he was black, but he taught proper. He went to private schools. He came from Georgia, all that shit like that. This kid used to slay a lot of pussy too. But he was the most selfish son of a bitch you ever meet in your life. Like, it was always about him. He used to do drugs. He used to motherfuck. Everything was about him. What he getting out of the situation. The most selfish kid I've ever met in my life. You feel me? It was always his way or no way. That motherfucker got so much white pussy it didn't make no fucking sense. He the one who started introducing me to motherfucking white hoes. I used to kick it with him, and we just kicking it at the crib. Before we know, we got girls coming over for parties and shit. And it was damn near just a fucking, he get his mama room, I get his room, and we just fucking all, like, we just fucking. That's basically what it was. Every time I went to this nigga house, we was always fucking. It was always some new white bitch from the school that I ain't never seen before. We kicking it, we whatever. He used to like to drink and shit. I used to like to smoke, so I would smoke. He would drink and smoke and shit. And before we know, some chicks knocking on our door, knocking them down. White bitches was running through that house like crazy. You feel me? He the one who introduced me to that type of lifestyle. But he was the most selfish motherfucker. Still is to this day. Now he, now he be asking me for money. He having trouble with financial situations. He a deadbeat. But still, that nigga had no problem. And girls was obsessed with him. They wasn't in love. They was obsessed with this nigga. We had girls trying to kick his door in. We had like motherfuckers be trying to like chase us and shit. Like, you feel me? I can't say his name either, but that's my nigga. You feel me? He know who I'm talking about. But one thing that these guys cared more about than a bitch was themselves. You know what I mean? That nigga had no problem. Since we was young, he had no problem. A girl get acting up in his house, he'll kick her out. 30 minutes later, another chick over. You feel me? Like, that's how that shit was. He'll have girls knocking on his door that he done kicked out. Let me in, let me in, let me in. He'd be like, hey, stop knocking on my fucking door like that. Like, for real, you gotta stop. Like, you really gotta fucking leave. No, you're fucking da-da-da. He'll fucking close the door on their ass again, lock their ass out. And then the new chick that's coming, she'll see this crazy bitch outside, and he'll literally say, hey, you need to fucking leave. Let the new bitch come in and lock the door. And this girl would even go more crazier, still fucking chasing this nigga down. And then the next week, the girl that was tripping outside, now she on better behavior. Now he knocking her down in the room, while I'm knocking down the friend in the other room. Like, it was crazy. But at the end of the day, women obsess over selfish men, bro. They hate men that put them on a pedestal. They hate men that put them first. They hate the fucking men that overly care for them. At the end of the day, the men that they choose is the selfish men. And some men can start off being selfish, but then they end up falling in love with the girl, and they start caring too much, and then the girl starts distancing herself from that guy. The girl no longer wants to be with that guy, because he lost the attraction trigger, the arousal that got her in the first place. The selfishness. You gotta understand that money isn't everything with these chicks either. What ends up happening is, one of the reasons why women are attracted to guys with money, because any girl can be, like you know how they say they'd rather be single and shit? Any girl can live a certain lifestyle, especially in America, without a guy having to be wealthy. But at the end of the day, the reason why they're attracted to guys with money is because the characteristics that usually come with a guy that has a lot of money. 9 times out of 10, when a guy got a lot of money, he usually is naturally a little selfish, a little greedy, a little this, a little that. A little narcissistic. All the characteristics that women obsess over, but they can't tell you that they do, because they got to be politically correct. All of the characteristics that the women obsess over, they subconsciously think that these guys naturally have that. That's how come they became so wealthy in the first place. They had to be a little greedy. They had to be a little selfish. They had to be a little narcissistic. Me personally, I'm not that. That's not my trait, right? I'm not narcissistic, whatever the case is. I'm naturally a caring, loving motherfucker. But in order for me to get the results that I wanted, and because I got my fucking heart broke several times, I had to go back to, I just had to turn down the care. And I done, once I turned down the care, my life was better and everything was falling in line how I liked it, and my happiness went up. Motherfucker, I just kept the care down. You get what I'm trying to say? I just kept my motherfucking care down. And now this is who I really am. I really don't give a fuck about a bitch. I really don't need a bitch pussy that bad. If a bitch get to acting up, I'm done fucking with the bitch. I don't have to chase her. Her beauty don't got that kind of effect on me like it used to have when I was younger. Like, I really evolved to this nigga. I really don't give a fuck. Niggas be in the bar with me and they be like, man, come on, man, let's talk to this two set. We'll talk to the two set. Bro, if this bitch do some disrespectful ass shit, I'm out. I remember a two set me and my boy jumped into. Both of the bitches was bad. The bitch I was talking to was my type. I ain't gonna jump in unless she my type. Badass little bitch. Nice body, everything. So I introduced myself. I said, hey, I'm CJ. This bitch turned her back to me. This bitch said, hey, and turned her back to me. I walked the fuck out the set. My boy was like, man, why didn't you stay in and try? Nigga, I'm not taking that level of fucking disrespect. First of all, I don't have to. I had rotation bitches hotter than that hoe. You feel me? So I didn't even have to take the disrespect. But I'm not gonna stay in a set where a bitch is that fucking disrespectful. You ain't getting no more words at me, bitch. I'm just walking the fuck off. My boy's like, man, why didn't you stay in the set, man? Why didn't you stay in the set? Man, fuck that shit. Fuck that bitch. You feel me? And I tell my boys, I say, bro, she wasn't stopping you from talking to your girl. Just because I'm not in the set, don't get nervous, motherfucker. Keep talking to your bitch. But if I introduce myself to a bitch and say my name and the bitch turns her back on me like some just alt-right disrespect type shit, fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. You get where I'm coming from? And I ain't no pussy hound like that. Like, I ain't no nigga that's trying to win her over. Like a pickup artist be like, oh, try to win her over. Or the reason that she did that, man, fuck that. If I can't even introduce myself to you without you being that disrespectful, bitch, fuck you. For real. So, at the end of the day, if you guys sitting around here thinking, be like, damn, man, why I keep losing, man? Why all these bad guys keep winning, man? Why they keep getting all the girls, man? This nigga's a deadbeat. This nigga be kicked out of school all the time. This nigga in and out of juvie. This nigga cursing bitches out. This nigga got all these hoes, but I'm a good solid dude and I can't get a bitch. That's because you do not arouse her. You do not understand true female nature. Women love selfish men. Because a guy who's selfish cares more about himself than he cares about her. So a guy who cares less about her is the guy she's addicted to. So that's why I tell you guys on my channel, just care less. If you care less about the bitch, you are automatically gonna show all the traits of the type of guy she likes and that arouse her. If you care less about a bitch, you're gonna automatically have all the traits of the guy that arouse her. You think it's an accident that I get all this head from all these different bitches? You think it's an accident that I get all this good pussy from all these different bitches? You think it's a fucking accident? Hell no. By me caring less about them, I demonstrate traits of selfish, narcissism, all this bullshit that they can't get enough of. It's like fucking crack cocaine to these hoes. So the moment you figure that shit out, the better your dating life will be. And with that being said, I'm out.